Start the study circle with 3 Om. 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 Dear Swami, we are so grateful to be able to meet here together in your presence today. While we are here together studying your word in your Bhagavata Vahini, we ask that you open our ears and hearts to whatever it is you want us to learn. Please speak through each one of us and help us progress in our spiritual journey. Jai Sai Ram. Sai Ram, everyone. All right. I think last week's discussion was a very active and I think uplifting one. I would like to just remind everyone to mute their cell phones and let's be respectful and let's take off. So just a little review session. Of course, I heard I was not able to be here last week, but it was a great discussion on chapter 27, talking about Sage Sukha. I think the discussion revolved around true duty of a person when death is near. And Swami's quote on start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. And then a lot of discussion with equanimity and gratitude, and moving along to respecting spiritually elevated souls. And then a little bit of importance of Guru, but most of it was revolved around what is the duty of a person who knows that the death is near, or how should we, or what are the qualities we should imbibe, what are the life path, what is the life path that we can take with that thought in mind. And I think that was a very uplifting discussion being talked about. Anyone has anything to add? All right. We can move along. So this chapter is about Sage Sukha. So I think a lot of questions were discussed, and a little bit of why is it considered a great sin to disrespect those who are spiritually elevated or worthy of reverence. I know that we did. I mean, I think last week it was said, we have to respect everyone. It doesn't matter who it is, but it matters who is more elevated, as in for us to even recognize that. I think that's where a lot of our ego comes in the way. We have attachments and we have ego that doesn't let us always be cognizant of the other person's learnedness or their spiritually evaluated approach. Some souls are just that, and just because they do not wear an orange robe doesn't make them less elevated. At least those are things that I think that we should be aware of. I think at some level there has to be discernment on a spiritually elevated soul versus someone else. I mean, just based off of King Parikshit's deep remorse for insulting a sage and his acceptance of the consequences, those are things that I thought that we should actually always be aware of. Yeah, Sairam, does anyone have anything to add? Sorry.
Sairam. By saying that, does it mean that we can disrespect somebody else who is not?
No,
Doesn't mean that.
It doesn't mean that at all.
Yeah.
So being disrespectful is not an act of someone who is on a spiritual path. End of the topic. I get where you're going with that. But the reason that this question that came up to me is because this day and age, we tend to kind of think we know it all. At least because the information is available for everyone. It's not, based off of anything. I understand maybe disrespect is not the right word, but still, I still feel that recognition of scholarship is missing. In
I
today's
think
day,
Bhavaniji was trying to say that not to disrespect definitely to anyone, but to give more respect to someone who is more enlightened. Like right now, Sarvpriyananji walks in, we will definitely offer him a chair. We'll definitely offer him a higher position than anyone else. So the same thing happened. Shukadevji walked in. he's a young guy, 16-year-old guy, boy, son. But yeah, but yeah, 16, yeah, exactly, yeah, 16-year-old boy. So everyone recognize he is that personality. So not to respect anyone, but to give him the higher, respect.
Yeah, that happened, right? But I think in this day and age that we don't recognize that kind of scholarship at all. I think that is missing just because we
See,
feel, yeah,
should we use the word scholarship or
elevation.
spiritual elevation?
Correct. Spiritual elevation. Yes.
So actually, we came across one situation a few years ago. Um, we went to this temple, and we were introduced, and there was some man walking around with just a loincloth and smoking a BD and taking only tea or something. And then, here is the thing, do we look at the robe, what do you look at that person to say we have their respect? So here was the gentleman, and do you know that he is a very great soul? He, we have to keep him under control because, he just wanders away, you know, and he does a lot of service and all that. But you just look at him and then you say, oh, can we believe that he's elevated soul? So I think, that's the reason why we should not be judgmental in any case.
Okay. Moving along, I wanted to actually talk about what qualities makes a spiritual teacher worthy of reverence. And again, Swami has talked at length on the importance of guru, on why why one needs a guru, and and when it comes to Sage Sukha, why is Sage Sukha the right teacher in this scenario? Yes, we did not move on, but why is Sage Sukha the right teacher? That is what the next chapter will talk about it, but I think it's worth the discussion because it's not somebody else. Whereas, yeah, Parikshit also had a lot of very well learned scholars in his own spiritual souls, right, sitting right there. But Sage Sukha is the one, and his father is Sage Vyasa, right? Yeah, so Vyasa, who has actually written all the scriptures for us, right?
Actually, they asked Vyasa himself to recite the Bhagavatam. Vyasa refused. It seems like, yes, that he is not qualified to do that. It is very difficult, it seems. So the only qualified person was Sukha. So
Sukha is also a parrot.
parrot.
Yeah.
I mean, he has
the
the
name, ability,
human
body.
body. The head is like parrot. Some they depict with the human head also.
Right.
But his story is he was most knowledgeable. He even at the womb, he heard it from Shiva himself, all that Upadesham. And
Yes.
so that's why he was a lot of stories about him. But he was the knowledge of, epitome of knowledge, everything he knew. And that's why. And he led such a pious life. And that's what it is. So what qualities make a spiritual leader worthy of reverence?
Yes.
I talked about it last week also.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna says in chapter 4 that you approach the guru with reverence and with humility and with reverence, you learn and do service. So here the guru, the qualities of a guru, he should be well versed in what he is, in Vedanta, whatever he is going to teach. If he doesn't know it fully, and what are we as a Sisha going to gain? What? Second is, he should be established in Brahman, that ultimate. He has the truth and the knowledge about it. And he should be a full-time teacher, full-time established in spirituality, not a part-time guru. It is, so they say, how do you find, if he is a Brahmajnani, we have no idea if he is one
Right.
or not.
Yeah.
So how do you find he's a good guru? Then you look at his life, how he is, what does his life the path he leads, So if he should be beyond all that, he should have integrity, okay? And he should have that character should be beyond reproach. Absolutely, blemishless character, integrity. Integrity means he should not have, it says he should not be destroyed by desire, above desire, okay? So all these qualities are very important in a guru, So they say you cannot know the Brahmajnani, but you can see from his lifestyle. And he is so dedicated and he inspires the students to do good things like our Swami. His life, he says, my life is my message. Okay. So he inspires the Sishyas, the followers to do service, be kind to each other, aim for higher spiritual thoughts and lifestyle. So those are the qualities for Guru.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Swami says Guru means Gunatita and Rupa Varjita. That means that is what the Gu and Ru.
Yeah.
So Gunatita means one who is beyond attributes. Okay. And Swami has clarified it. So when students, anyway, Rupa Varjita is beyond form,
Yes.
who is formless and who
Yeah.
is beyond attributes. One who can be like that Guru is basically the God himself. So what it means is,
No, we can hear you.
one who is, I
It's
think
less
something
now.
is.
No, I think Jaibai is working
Oh,
on that
okay,
algorithm.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's okay.
side up. Okay, one who is in that all the attributes that Umaji mentioned,
Yes.
all that things is a person who has all that will be such that he is beyond attributes, beyond form. He will
So,
reach that stage of
so first
not
come
caring for his body or his own thing, and he's beyond that means when we say beyond form and beyond attributes, that means he doesn't care about attributes,
right.
care about the form. He doesn't give any importance, iota of importance to all that. And today I was listening to a discourse where Nagadanji explains. He says that Swami has described a guru as a person whose only concern is his sishyas.
Yeah.
His sishyas. His only whole life goal is to make sure that the sishyas is gaining all the desired knowledge or all the required knowledge. That is his only goal. He doesn't have anything else in life. That is his only goal. Such a person is a guru.
Okay.
So that
Very
that
nicely put. Yeah.
So the question still stays unanswered. How would you find a guru? That question is still not answered.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Even the qualities he has also,
No,
but
not
how
only-
would you look for, how would you, even these things will be told to you by a guru. All this what you have told,
Correct.
what Umaji has told, we have learned through
Somebody else,
somebody.
right?
So how to find that person who will tell us all these things?
Okay.
Right.
From whatever I know, when that quest for a guru comes, the guru will automatically come to the sishya. So that is
That
very,
is
very,
perfect.
that is
Yes.
that is what.
Some of us
He-
unknowingly are on a quest.
it doesn't have to be in physical form. For me, it is through YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, Swami is there. Swami also, before we went to Prashanti or met him
His
in person,
books were always the
for me, his teachings.
yes. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So his teachings. Then see, how do you find the guru? How do we find a guru? Manoj was asking. See, when we talk to, probably if we are fortunate enough to talk to spiritual people, right? And then there are a dime a dozen. You can so
Yes.
many in India. Every other street under a tree you will find somebody. But
No,
But
it is
what-
true. That is
it
why
is
this
true.
question.
See, there are so many people, even in YouTube also, even we find so many satsangs, so many lectures, so many discourses. For me, I would say, what makes sense to you? What do you connect with? That message, everybody says something. Okay, there are so many messages all over the place.
That exactly
Which
was my
one do
point.
you connect?
So it is your quest. As you elevate,
Right.
as you go dive into it, your own quest will search. It's like without searching, you are searching, and you will find your connection will just get plugged in at the right place at the right moment. I came to America 8 years ago, 7 years ago. I had been looking for, so it's a superficial example.
Yeah.
Looking for where to get this Vedantic study and all. We had been searching here and there, Williamsburg, Temple, this. So that quest itself will make you reach that place.
It
So
should.
that's the example of
See,
the guru also. Like,
See, even with people, we meet so many people. Only with few we connect. Seriously, we think there is something there. I can relate to. They are at same wavelength, whatever it is. So like that, if it is true for a friendship or whatever, and then think about a more higher advanced level of thinking and the spirituality level, we need to know also how to separate the milk from the water, kind of the Annapakshi.
That is what I am saying. That is the
Yes.
hardest
Yeah.
thing. Like the swan. The swan. Can we
So,
can we
can
give
I?
her the mic? Yes, please go ahead, Shankaranji.
One thing is I want to quote 3 cases. Sujata's father, I mean, he went on a quest in search of a guru. And so actually he also ended up, at Swami Sivananda's ashram at one time. But when, like the Manoj said, the guru, the quest is there, but the guru will show up for you. And that was what they demonstrated. So, and then he went there and, somehow he didn't get that vibe, that is not the place. So he kept talking to so many people. He said, go up there and talk to that gentleman. Somebody will point out and he'll go there and no, that is not giving me the right vibration. And suddenly he go in search, he's going and searching. And finally he goes and that guru says, I've been waiting for you. And, so you will find that click. Then you read about, Sri M, the other one. He says the same thing. Guru came searching for him. And, and then I'm reading now some Swami Rama, same thing, he, the Guru finds him. And, so I think the important thing is you have that quest is, I think, the more important. The Guru will come to you.
Even Swami Paramhansa also, he was looking for a guru. He was searching everywhere. And then Yukteswar, he found Guru Yukteswar in Kashi in one of the streets. But interestingly, for Shuka, that though his father Vyasa was such a great sage, when Shuka was looking for a guru, he was not admitted into Vaikuntha because he didn't have a guru. Though he has all the knowledge one needs to know, but he was refused entry into Vaikuntha, it seems. So he came back and he asked his father, where do I find a guru? But I was wondering why his father himself could have been a guru for him.
I have the answer for that,
No,
actually.
so-
because we have discussed this in the past.
Sends to Janaka. Go to Janaka and take him as your guru.
So because there's a phrase in Hindi, "Ghar ki murgi dal barabar." So that exactly applies. Having so much of faith in the father, being that guru who will give you the Brahm Vidya is tough. That's why Vyasa sent him to a different person, to Janaka. And that was one of the big reasons. I have read that somewhere. So because having that much of faith of that, to your own family member is not easy.
Attachment also, right?
Yeah, it's described that a guru is somebody who's a Shrotriya. That means who has listened to all the Vedas and has knowledge. It's not just something he cooked up and said, oh, this, I discovered this. He's and Shuka is that. I think he's learned from his father that way. And also Brahmanishta. That means he's constantly in Brahman. So those are the ways you recognize a guru.
Sairam. I mean, just see why, even though there are so many gurus, I mean, why each one clicks with one. It's because of for example, there are so many teachers. There is a high school teacher, there is a middle school teacher, and there's a college professor. So a student who is in the school level cannot go to a college professor and learn something. So that person has to pick that guru or that level teacher. So I think it depends on, I mean, which guru will pick you or which guru you will click with will depend on your spiritual evaluation. That's what
I think, yes, at the end, of course, we can come back to karmic cycle and things, but I do agree. Can we go to a discourse? Does anyone else have anything to add? Otherwise, we'll do Swami's discourse followed by questions anyway. We'll continue the discussion. Okay. So I actually had a few questions on Sage Sukha, but we can come to this after the guru, if you want. Yes, let's just do the discourse. Yes, give me 1 minute. All right, let me just read it. How can such coddled, comfort-loving persons attain liberation? If gurus are not able to secure such disciples, why should the gurus deplore their fate? It is strange that there are gurus who lament when they are not able to attract such disciples. Opium eaters and marijuana smokers are unfit to be gurus. They are cheats. How can those who spend all their energies in securing the wherewithal for their living be gurus? How can those who seek to fulfill their sensual fancies be disciples? These are money gurus. Those are pride disciples. To consider such as gurus and disciples is to drag those holy names into the dust of disgrace. Who then is the genuine guru? It is he who teaches the path of destroying delusion, moha. And who is the genuine disciple? It is he who seeks to control and conquer the outward fleeing mind. The gurus of today shout every day from platforms what is stuffed into their heads the previous day under the midnight lamp. Their performance is only like regurgitating the food once swallowed and nothing more. They talk like parrots, reproducing what they have learned by rote. Even children know that greed and anger have to be mastered. But in these people, greed, anger, envy, hatred, lust, and pride pop into their devilish heads through every little word they utter, every little deed they do. If those who claim to be gurus do not themselves master these propensities, how can the unfortunate disciples who resort to them succeed? If the guru is supremely self-sacrificing, seeking to sustain truth, saturated with selflessness, seeing all people as equal, striving to secure sorrowless lives for all, leading a sweet and simple life with a soul suffused with strength-giving thoughts, satisfied only by the chance to show others the path of good conduct and good character, then perhaps a few disciples will gather around. Though they will impose faults upon the guru that sully and cast doubt upon the guru's integrity and genuineness. But the guru will be as serene as ever, for the guru suffers no loss. The loss is all for the disciples who let go the great chance. One thing is certain, as long as the delusion that one is the body is not cast aside, God cannot be realized. However far one may wander, whatever the number of gurus one might select and serve, stick to that delusion, and all the meditation, all the repetitions of the name, all the waters of the holy bathing places that you bathe in cannot win success for you. All your efforts is as useless as trying to bail water in a vessel ridden with leaks. Householders who carry out their duties are any day preferable to such seekers, sadhus. They follow the dharma of their stage of life, ashrama, and they tread the correct path in unceasing remembrance of the Lord. So these householders realize the goal. If the nature of the gurus and the disciples of today is to be considered, volumes can be written. But what would be using precious time for inessential discussion? So we shall revert to our main topic. For to dwell on the sacred guru-disciple bond of Krishna and Arjuna in the same breath with the relationship of the present-day gurus and disciples would be sacrilege. They are unique, incomparable, this supreme pair, unapproachable by any other. They have to be taken as the ideal by all teachers and aspirants. Arjuna bowed in humility and carried out sincerely the precepts of the Guru, Krishna fostered what was really beneficial to Arjuna. He paid full consideration to what would really promote the reputation, Atmic bliss, and dharma of Arjuna. He tended him and fended for him as the very breath of his life. That was the type of Guru the Lord was for him. Krishna is the highest Atma, Paramatma. Arjuna, the Atmic soul, Jivatma. Krishna is the supreme Lord of all, Purushottama. Arjuna, the best of people. That is why they are the ideal Guru disciple. Others are Guru disciple in name only. Self-willed disciples and power-drunk gurus are simply wasting their lives in vain pursuits. Krishna is an ocean of love. He watched over Arjuna as one watches over the eye or the heart. He taught holiness and transformed into holiness. He loved and was loved beyond compare. That makes the Guru a genuine Guru. This is Swami being really angry at some point and gave this the fake Guru description, which I think is very potent at this point, because we see a lot of this in the world today. And I really felt it is so hard to find a Guru if you really start looking for someone. Yes, if they pick you, that is really great. And I feel we are blessed to be here, at least in this satsang, to be able to discuss that. So first off, why is the presence of a true Guru essential on the path of self-realization, and what inner transformation occurs through genuine discipleship? I guess that is a word that I conquered, so I don't know if that's a real word. But basically, how can you be, genuine? Why do we need a true Guru for self-realization? Can we not do it by ourselves?
I think, yeah, the questions are unique. Each person will have the questions that are unique from their spiritual level. So it need not be relatable to others, even though the other person may be a very close acquaintance or your own siblings. They may not understand your level, the question that is lingering in you. I mean, I'm talking about a true disciple, a person who is really, he or she wants to know why this is happening, and that is the whole purpose of life. But that inquiry, self-inquiry, has to be churning, and if that is churning, then that cannot be answered by anybody who is other than a Guru. A Guru who has gone through that and who has experienced, and who that such a Guru will be able to answer that question and guide that disciple to take the next step. Because the whole purpose is, as Swami says, is the controlling the mind and to channel the mind for spiritual progress. I think that's what it is. So,
see, it says in Bhagavatam that we as human beings, we have taken numerous births, countless. And we have the ignorance, in our mind for lifetimes. So to remove the ignorance, what does the Guru do? He sheds light. He says, you cannot do it on your own. You need a Guru. You need a Guru to shed light, because the Guru knows the truth and he has the knowledge also. It's very important, right? So even Adi Shankara says the same thing. If we cannot, without a Guru, you cannot, in this materialistic world, you cannot find the spiritual path. You have to have a Guru. So the Guru, we can say, I can, pass all the classes, get a master's degree without a teacher. I can just read the book. But there is a difference, just you reading a book and then you are guided by a teacher in a classroom.
No, but my question is more based on, if we are the self ourselves,
right,
why do we need a Guru to tell us?
Yes. Okay. So where are you? Are we there? Are we at the level of self-realization now? We have all the layers, sediments on our mind and, covering, right? We are deeply into
Different
samsara.
stages. So what she is saying, what Umaji is explaining is, we are at different stages of that evolution. Theoretically, we have read, I am Atman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Atman. So have we practiced it? Have we got into the depth? Is it sitting in all the molecules of my brain? Has it entered to the depth of it? No. There's a big saying in our Vedantic, Brahma Gyan is not sadhan sadhe. It is kripa sadhe, number one. It answers all the questions. It is not sadhan sadhe. It is kripa sadhe. Kripa will come from the Guru. Sadhan you can do, theoretically we'll learn, we'll start speaking loud on the speaker that I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahma. Have we gone, has it entered? Has it entered?
The story, this sadhu sitting on the rock in the forest, he always sits there, he meditates, he's a Brahmajnani, right? After some time, once he got up to go somewhere, he came back, somebody else was sitting. He said, how can you sit on my rock? That is my place. See, this kind of thing, in our mind, we can say, I know everything, I'm Brahmajnani, I have gone beyond my ego and all that nonsense. When it comes to practicality, we are nowhere there.
So one question to you is, to all of us, as long as we have some desire, that means we are not there. So that means we need some guidance. So I think that's what I'm going to say. If we are out of all desires, okay, obviously, now somebody will come seeking you. How can you get to that
No,
stage?
but okay, so 1 minute. So when we talk about Krishna, Arjuna, that Swami said also, Arjuna still had desires, right? Krishna was, he didn't go up the path. He was Paramatma, Parabrahman. He already knew who he was, right? He was a Purna avatar. So he knew, just like Swami did. So how can he teach some, like. Yeah, Grihastha is as, he said that.
Yeah. See, Krishna could have chosen anybody else. He chose Arjuna to teach, right? So that the Guru, we were saying, when the disciple is ready, the Guru appears. Arjuna was right there. He has all the other qualities. He was so humble. He says, Krishna, teach me, how to get out of this. That question, so the Krishna as a teacher, he picked the right disciple.
Can I ask a question? Are we picking Swami or did Swami pick us?
Okay. But before we go into that one, see,
Now, what do you think, Sabita?
I don't know what I have done, but I think Swami picked me. It wasn't me. It was Swami.
So how do we need to find in this world at this point of time? Like we see so many people, so-called gurus. I know, we keep tickets and we go like whether it could be Ravi Shankar and whoever it is been in any field. We take tickets, very heavy tickets, and go. Are they because we are talking about like they have been self-realized and they don't want any desires and all these things. Without ticket, they don't even enter. They don't even whether it's to be Sadguru or any other people who have been very, very highly recognized kind of thing. If that is the case kind of thing, in this world, at this point of time, how do we need to find any guru? Like, and otherwise, like, how do we recognize? And we in the journey also.
Yeah,
we can't. I don't see. You cannot recognize. Even if you take any number of janmas also, I don't think so. I'm not self-realized, and I can't understand like the next person next to me. This guy is a guru for me or not. Also, I don't know if he's the.
So look at his life. Okay, that what kind of a life that so-called guru was leading up to that point. Okay, was he doing services? He is living the life that he is teaching. Okay, is he like a hypocrite? He is saying something and then making money on the other side, giving lectures $1,000 an hour.
So I don't think, so they are all running institutions.
Yeah, so but see, Swami's, I can speak, that attracted me was that Swami organization is fairly free, all the services, whatever. This is the organization. When you come, we don't ask you give this much money upfront, as a membership or anything. It's a volunteer. You want to do service, if you want to give something to buy something for us, homeless people, whatever we are doing. Those kind of small things, okay? Satya Sai Baba, we haven't seen him in person, but the message, how many people they transform inside, just listening. That kind of again, I would go to the connection. See, if that guru, that person is saying something that resonates with you, that you think I can follow it. It makes sense to me. What he says is true. If we can get to that point, then only we can go further. If I don't have any faith in what you are saying, I'm not going to listen to you. So we have to have the faith first of all. Okay. That is where you can start small.
No,
You
I
can
agree.
start small. Okay.
See, building the faith and
Mm,
all these things, to understand the concept itself, you need to be transformed so many things. Because even you don't understand. Like there are so many other concepts which you need to understand what is faith is also.
Yeah,
Even
because you
the
have to go beyond what this is.
Yeah, what beyond this
Yeah.
is. But even when Swami has started these operations and all those things,
Yeah.
like it is not Swami himself has come forward and started and expanded this thing. There will be some external force that comes into the picture, and then they will be doing it. And they have their motives. So it is not Swami. Swami might be having a very pure, genuine, very clean motive. But the people who run this thing have a different motives. But how do that can overtake the actual intent of Swami? And how do you find the right disciples who will be coming into the picture?
Yeah. See, Swami, when he started, he didn't say start an organization in my name. Okay. But whatever he was doing, people were inspired to follow him and do the things. Okay. So when people are in any organization, okay, even Sai organization, people are people, they have their ego. So based on that, they do a lot of things. Okay. So for us, it is not for us to judge why these people are doing what they are doing under certain name.
I don't think he's judging. He's
No,
saying,
I am
how do you
saying, no.
figure out the right guru
No,
if the
the-
disciples are like that? Yeah.
No, right.
We're all like heading towards the Poconos for the retreat. Just to showcase something, what our center do something, we are trying to present something. That is itself is a small thing. Like, okay, we want to have present ourselves to be something. It should not, like, even when we believe that we are going for something, Swami, like as Umaji said, like, okay, they started their organizations. Don't even start organizations. It is something which is no Swami's organization, something. It is something which it is the path for spiritualization. Don't tag it as a Puttapati Sai Babas or something like this. That is the way it should come.
Sai-
It's
Sai-
unidentified.
Where he's going. Yes,
Sai-
please go ahead.
Sai, just to clarify,
Yeah.
the things that we do, if we are going to do that to showcase, to project our center, then that defeats the whole purpose. The whole reason why we are doing all this is to the sadhana itself. That process of doing at that time, what we are doing is our mind is focused on that. We are not distracting. So the process is important. The end product is okay, that we have to have a goal to do that. But that is important, but the process is equally important. So that's why the practice, the whatever we do, the SSC classes, okay, everything is important because during that, our mind is focused. The service that we do is important. The end product, we may be serving only the peanut butter jelly sandwich, okay, that may not be that much value, but the process of doing it is what is important. So that's what Swami stresses. I mean, we can easily donate $10 to somebody and then we can move on. Just 10 seconds of our time is what is lost. But that's not the whole thing. Sai organization doesn't believe in that. We need to do that. That's why all our service, no money is collected, but we are expecting people to buy the things and give it. So coming back to this one, Sairam, Arjuna had complete faith in Krishna. That is why he is the ideal disciple. So you have to have that guru-disciple connection. The faith is the fundamental thing. You have to have complete faith in that guru. So when you pick some guru, if you have the complete faith in that guru, that guru is ideal for you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So the faith is fundamental. So if you have even one iota of doubt, that this person may not be, then that is lost right there.
Yeah.
So that 100% faith is fundamental.
Right. And each one of the people that you have mentioned, they have all gained that for many, many people. Not they, each one of us has their own path. We chose a path that is right for us. That doesn't make the other person's path wrong. So it is up to what the masses want, or whatever it is that ticks their cells. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, one thing I want to say is, even in the first chapter and even part of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was not, immediately, accepting everything. He was questioning every thing. There was, he didn't, he was actually expecting an answer. Yeah, you are absolutely right, Arjuna. Let's go home. Like, Sarvabhyantas. He expected that answer. Yeah, I didn't think about all these losses. So maybe you shouldn't fight. You go home. But that's not what Krishna did. And so it took him up to a point where Krishna was not willing to just give up. And at that point he said, Krishna, I surrender to you. You tell me what I should do. And so, it took some time. He was not an absolute devotee to start with. When he found that he was in desperate stage, that is when he gave up. And that's one thing. Other thing I want to address is whether Swami found us or not. I can say from my perspective, right from age 5, I knew Swami.
Yeah.
I have, but it was more like, a kid watching around, when is he going to do this? How does he produce this vibhuti? And
Yeah.
how does he produce this? Suddenly, gold ornaments, he just gives it to people. So this was a time when, hardly 20 people were there in the big lawn.
Right.
So yeah, we could run around, around. That didn't give me any, inspiration or anything to say, oh, that's a God. And so, for many, many years, I said, okay, there are some people he will give a grace. I'm not one of them. So it's okay when he finds, so there was no attraction. But suddenly, it took almost 95, year 95. Suddenly I said, oh, maybe I should pursue this.
Yeah.
Maybe there is some message here. And one of the things, so first thing that each one, he puts a different card. In my case, the card was, Sai Bhajan Bina. That song and the meaning of that song gave me that inspiration to, find.
Right.
So I think it is really he who finds you, even though you may see a lot.
Right. So can we go to the next question? Because I think that is very important for us to figure out. How can one differentiate between a teacher who merely shares information and a guru who awakens inner wisdom? So again, I know this question, I have already answered it in terms, but many of the teachers also preach about inner awareness. They do talk about it all the time, especially online, and they're storytellers. They can, but how do you, what is the difference that we can see?
I think Uma answered it before. I think we have to look at how they live their life. That's the only thing. A teacher can be teaching in the class, and then at home maybe following completely opposite. I'm talking about a spiritual teacher, not forget about a science or math teacher. I'm saying somebody who's taking a class on Gita or something. They can go home and then do something normal like anybody else. Then that person is, we have to respect that person for the knowledge, but not ideal for taking that person as a guru. That's my opinion.
There's a funny example that you go to a store, a reputed store, and you want to buy a computer, and you will look for all the brand names, whatever, Apple, other things, because why? You trust that brand, so it has a reputation. So you would buy that. Or if somebody next to the store he is selling a computer in his garage that he assembled, and he says, you can pay 1/10 of the price. This is a really good one. Will you buy that one? You may not. Maybe it works well, but you won't buy from the garage, somebody built by their own hand. Rather, you would go to a reputed store and a reputed brand, that computer, or some expensive item, you would buy that. Why? Because you trust that, okay, it will be a good one. Like that, the same way, a guru is the one who is established again and again in the knowledge and the truth and the lifestyle. And you can sense from that, this is the right path. He is the one to guide me. See, people will have knowledge, that bookish knowledge, the teacher. Okay, they can, but they are not practicing it in the life. The life itself is the message, like Swami says. That's all you have to remember. Okay, then you go with that person who is walking, talking, doing everything, thought, word, and deed, everything in alignment. You don't know to look anywhere else.
But we don't have that kind of close proximity that Krishna had with Arjuna.
Right.
Or Arjuna had with Krishna.
Right.
So Arjuna lived with Krishna, just like Sundarayar lived with Swami. So Sundarayar knows exactly what Swami is. He is passing on this message to us, and we are not direct. We are not directly hearing like Arjuna did.
Right.
Is my
we
point.
Cannot wait for Krishna to stand in front of each one of us, or Swami. But there are a lot of things they have provided for us to learn from, to follow from. Okay. First and foremost, our conscience, that itself is the guru, the guide for us to navigate in the right path. So at this age, we cannot individually go guru shopping. We cannot say, who is the guru for me? Who is the guru for me? You will never find him.
Yes.
Right?
See, in that context, like at least very old age, the Gurukulas and all, like where that has been taught, like that is the Vedas and all this been taught. I don't think so in this current world, like at this point of time, like we see any such kind of things happens. So if we are being completely lost,
and all, they still Veda Patashala and
Yeah.
people go and learn, right?
yeah, so
They
if
have
that-
all that.
yeah, if that is the there still, as you said, like they need to walk, talk, and do the same thing. But they when come to the real life, when are they doing the same thing and continuing and spreading the same thing? Like if that is the case, just like the normal other institutions that are being expanding, even this is everyone wants to be like to the final path to be going to the moksha.
Not
Everyone
really.
wants, okay, everyone desires, like whether they are attained to go there or not, they
No.
desire.
No, they don't. They don't desire. Not everyone desires moksha. Let me tell you that.
Desires in the sense like, okay, they want to have that thing.
No, I am telling you, that is not everyone's goal in life. I can tell you that. I live in a family that does not believe in this.
Probably
I know.
in this janma, your thought might not be there, but in the next janma, your thought might be go.
Oh, you mean eventually?
Eventually, that is what it is.
That's the goal for the.
That is
human being.
eventually that is
That's
the
the soul goal.
ultimation of the ultimate.
That is the
thing.
soul goal
So
for everyone.
why are we not?
Why are we taking janmas then? Yeah.
Yeah, that is the. But in that case, like we should encourage that kind of institutions rather than any other institutions to spread the other technology learning or other things what it is to be learned.
Very nice.
So
Whenever
why are
you
we-
go into politics, let me know. Thank you.
It's not a politics. It's not a politics.
Sairam.
Well, I mean, one thing is, talk
He's
about
right.
that. There are institutions like that,
Yes.
Ramakrishna Mission schools. I mean, that's what they do.
Chinmayananda.
Yeah, there are, but your to your answer to your question, and kind of adding to your thing, not everybody is in search of the spiritual
Yes.
goal. Okay, it's a very small percentage of very small. It could be tens of percents.
Yeah.
And could be looking for that. So, and therefore, you cannot just say, just because the institution is available, people will not.
So that reminds me of Prahalada, right? When Narasimha Swami came in front of him, he said, "Please give moksha to all of these people who are here. That's all that I want from you." He said, "Now you can't ask for other people to for me to give other people moksha. I will give them all the chance to ask me themselves. Go ahead." Apart from Prahalada, no one else asked for moksha. I want this daughter married. I want that, I don't want to. So, that desire only is missing in a lot of us. We will go to, Swami always says, "I'm ready to give Kamadhenu cow. You ask for coffee powder." Yeah, please go ahead.
Sairam. See, the thing is, when we look at the guru, how will we know what I mean, we were comparing about the Gurukulas and the one-on-one connection that people had that we do not have. If we have the complete faith in the Guru, whoever that Guru may be, that guidance will come. It will come in some form. It may come in the form of a book that you open and read. It may come on in a TV show that you may watch. It could be a movie, but the message may be there. That message will be appropriate. It will answer the question. But the fundamental requirement is that faith, the complete faith. Faith and surrender. Faith and surrender, if you have. So it doesn't have to be coming through a guru who is giving the upadesh. Okay, it doesn't have to be. The second thing is on the Sai organization, unlike different organization, Swami, what he does is he interprets the message in a very simple, easily understandable way. The same profound message that is there in Vedas, Upanishads, and Gita, all that thing he condenses and makes it easily understandable. So that is why a lot of people are connecting in the Sai organization. Yeah.
How do you know that others are not doing the same thing?
Oh, I'm not saying.
So
that is
let's
wrong
not,
on my part.
I'm sorry
say
to
that.
Yeah.
So let's not, we appreciate, we honor, we fully respect but
Everyone. Yeah.
everyone. And whose guru is Swami Narayan's guru bigger than Baba?
No, that doesn't count that
Is
way.
so
Yeah.
exactly. So I have to give some names. I mean, is that guru bigger than this guru? That's not our job. That's not our job. Exactly.
Yeah.
We are talking
was not-
about the like guru is not a physical body. That's move. We have to go above this level of physical body. Guru is not this body. Guru is that Atma Tattva. And all Atma Tattva is same. We are saying my guru, my guru, my guru, my guru.
Yeah.
No. We are still talking about the physical body. That's wrong. But we have to talk about that Atma Tattva. Guru is not that body.
Yeah.
So all gurus are one. All gurus are one. We have separated them, my guru,
Based on us.
because of
based on
our
our
intellect.
Yeah, that is correct.
So
And I
all
agree.
gurus are highly respectable. All gurus' teachings are highly respectable. We have to have, as Venkatji said earlier, it's our faith which is going to work. It's our search which is going to work.
Yeah.
Which will give us the right guru. So
Yeah.
this beyond this physical body, we have to be beyond this physical body. Every guru is same from inside. Is same from inside. We don't have to be differentiating.
But the bond that we are talking about is different in the current atmosphere of things versus what we read about a Krishna or a Arjuna or or even Sundaraya and Swami. So that's something that is something that we do need to be aware of, and that brings us more to focusing on ourselves, I think. Yes, please go ahead, Prashant.
In terms of Swami, I believe that we are all Ekalavya Shishyas.
Ekalavya.
Ekalavya. I mean, because we feel that we are not directly connected or we are not present in Swami's room or something like that. But the point is, Swami always in his speech says that it is heart to heart and love to love. For every individual, he is directly connected. Even, I mean, not in a physical way, but there is no mediation in between.
Correct.
That's what I feel.
That is
If
true.
we want to go to Swami, in case of, let's consider physically, if we want to go to Swami, there might be someone waiting outside Swami's room and say, Swami is sleeping, come back later. But if you want to go spiritually, no one can stop. So that feeling should be always, any guru should, we should maintain that feeling. We should have a direct interaction mentally. That's what I always believe. And yes, you asked the questions in my scenario, Swami always picked me. That is very evident for me and as anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with Manoj on the fact that the gurus are the same, but, we need to have that, somehow find that appeals to us. And that is what, where is the chemistry that matches the best for you? And that's what we choose as maybe to get that message. That is the medium that helps us. So I think that's how I would like to close it.
Nice.
I think our readiness, like again, what you said is like our readiness is what we
is most important.
Just want to give an example before we close that topic. How much Vedanta Kabir has read? How much Vedanta Samath Ramdas has read? How much Vedanta, I have a list of have read? No,
Nothing.
it is much beyond this bookish knowledge. It's much beyond this bookish knowledge. Mirabai, how much Vedanta Mirabai had? Kabir did not even go to school. Did you know that? And his teachings are being taught in PhD. So this is beyond this bookish knowledge. This is beyond this physical body. This is much beyond it. So I should say this question was made to provoke this conversation because it's beyond. We are no one to see this guru or that. Guru will find us, as Sabita ji was saying. Guru will find us. It's your urge that will attract, that will give you that bond. Because if we have that much of intelligence that we are going to search a guru, no, not this guru, not this guru. So that means we are much beyond it. Guru is much beyond us.
Absolutely.
So one thing is clear. None of us have to question as to which guru we've picked.
Yeah.
So that question is not even like
On the table.
a question to be discussing. Because we've already figured out it's already established who each one of our gurus in this forum is, which is Swami. That's why we're here. So that's already established. Secondly, yes, we shouldn't be even comparing like this guru's better, that guru, because then we're judging. We should be open-minded because that's what Swami is teaching us. Otherwise, then we're being egotistical. That we think that my guru, which is Swami, is better than whatever else somebody else is.
Agree.
Right?
Nicely put. Yep.
So the questions that we're talking is like, one, it's established. Two, if somebody else does think, there could be somebody here that we don't know that could believe in Swami and could believe in someone else because the teachings could be similar.
Right.
And that is okay as well. Nobody is saying
This versus that.
this versus that.
Yeah.
For example, we all here are Hindu. So when we read Bhagavatam, we read Gita, it's like, it's for me, what like Venkatji says, Swami makes it easy because trying to like read the Gita, it can be a little bit tough. So he makes it like, honestly, like Gita for idiots, for people like for me, right? You know how you have those books. But let's just say someone here was of the Christian faith, right? Right now we don't, but we've had that. And Swami has or someone that is Muslim. So then they would be believing Jesus' teachings, even though, yes, but everything that we talk about here right now is Hindu-based. So someone who's Christian who could be walking in today, because this is open, could be Christian, believing tomorrow's Easter, right? Could be believing, but we are not once in this hour talked about Jesus' teachings.
But it's the same teaching.
It
That's what I'm
is,
saying.
but we're not
No,
reading
we
the
are not.
Bible, are
We are
we?
not.
We're not.
Yep. Agreed.
We say
Yep.
that, but we're reading the Bhagavatam, which is Hindu.
Yeah.
Baba's teachings are much above Hindu, Muslim, Christian. It's that Atmic level. It's beyond religion.
But what we're saying is what we're doing right now is Hindu-based.
Agreed. Because guru,
Right.
the word guru in itself
Correct. So when
is
we're talking,
is not an international word.
correct. So
somewhere.
we're talking about the Sai organization and kind of also what Venkatesh ji was kind of saying, right? Like when we're talking about these things, just be aware of that, because anybody could walk in here and this is open and I'm just making that like awareness.
Yep.
That's it.
Sairam,
Can
just
Yeah.
one second. I know that we are
Yeah.
Swami clarifies guru.
Yeah.
There are at least 4 types of guru, he says.
Yes.
Out of which I remember 2. I mean, I've been listening to Swami's discourses. One is Vishwa Guru.
Yeah.
That is Guru, the nature. The second, he says, Atma Guru.
Yes.
Atma Guru is the fourth one.
Fourth one.
The third and fourth, I
Yeah.
forgot what the first 2 are. So that connects with what Manoj says. Atma is the ultimate Guru. So if we go in that line, it doesn't matter which faith we follow. But I agree that whatever we have been, but we have chosen Bhagavata Vahini. So
Yeah.
that's why we have chosen.
Itself is that story that relates to this. So yes.
Yes, I am one
Yeah.
quick thing. One,
Not on. It's not on. Mhm.
Yeah, about judgment, we just read that there are all kinds of gurus. So you have to judge. You cannot blindly follow somebody just because they say he's a guru.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks.
So
Yeah.
their
Please.
judgment is involved.
Yeah.
I'm going through a lot of thoughts as
Yeah.
we're speaking, and from the spiritual elevation point of view, and so many things, but I'm still at the very basic level. So the day I achieve love all without bias,
Yeah.
serve all
Serve all
without
without-
bias,
Yeah.
help ever, hurt never.
Yeah.
I'm spiritually elevated without bias.
Right.
So the minute I can get there, I mean, my mind,
Yeah.
I'm elevated.
Very nice.
If I can get there.
That's a great thought. Yes. Appreciate it. All right. We can end with Om and Three Shantis. Thank you for the great discussion. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti Sai Ram.